What's good? What's popping? What's the word, family? It's your boy Jay Nasty checking in, man. Welcome to another episode of the Nasty Knowledge Podcast. Here we're focused on creating dialogue centered around the upkeep of the mental well-being, while at the same time highlighting local talent in the city, man. Just highlighting people that got anything going on outside of their regular day. And as you can see, if you tuned in today, I am joined by a special guest. So we ain't even gonna waste no time. We're gonna jump right into the conversation. Today I'm joined by entrepreneur, rapper, engineer. Seems like he got his hand in a little bit of everything right now, but he's making it work. You feel me? So welcome to the Nasty Knowledge Podcast. 1155Casamir. What's up with you, bro?
Yo, what's poppin', man?
How you living, family?
Another day, man. I'm getting to it. You already know, like you said, keep my hands busy, keep me moving.
Hey, that's all you can do out here. I think so at first, when I had first thought about having you just as a guest, the first thing I wanted to ask, bro, is about just like the city of Anderson, just like in general. Because for me, bro, I'm not from Indiana. I moved to Indiana like to go to school and everything like that. So up until I got to college, like all I knew was Indianapolis. But when I got to college, I mean, you feel me? You meet a little bit of everybody. And
Right.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Two of the most solid people that I had met my first day of college was from Anderson, bro. Swear to God.
Okay.
And then it put me on to so many other people from Anderson, just like from that region and stuff like that. So my question to you, bro, is like, what is like something about Anderson that's like misrepresented to like the rest of, you know what I'm saying? If you're not from there, what's like something that's like misrepresented, unknown?
I definitely feel like we're misrepresented as like, well, they already see us and label us as a small city. So they expect like small things from us or like, assert us to act a certain way. But nah, like you feel me, we just as cool as the big city folk or even really, just out there. It ain't just gotta be just nap or anything. We pretty cool, man. And some of us for the most part got a good head on our shoulders. Like we know what we want, We don't feel limited to our small city anymore. Like for a while we did, but nah, we getting out of that. And I feel like that's where we misrepresented, they think small city, small-minded people. Nah.
No, that's real. That's real, bro. Because honestly, a lot of the dudes that I locked in with from there, like just seeing where they are now from coming from Anderson, bro, it's like the mentality is different. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like a different type of hunger that they had compared to a lot of the people that I knew from other places. And it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. That's definitely interesting. Let me ask you this. Do you feel like you need kind of like that support from your city to kind of take it to the next level, or do you just kind of feel like if it's organic, if it's you, then it's gonna go wherever? You know what I'm saying?
Right. See, originally when I was recording music and started, dropping, releasing, yes, I did feel like that. I'm like, okay, I feel like you gotta get home first. I feel like if you can't reach home, if you can't get home to rock with you, you necessarily can't get the rest of the world. But over time, going through my career, I'm learning you don't necessarily need it. Yes, it is great. It would be magnificent just because simply those are the people who knew you, who really understand your story more so than anybody else. But at the end of the day, I honestly don't believe you need it because I've studied consistencies in other stories, when they're upcoming. And the number one consistency that I have on my note list is literally they left. They honestly left their hometown and reached out and networked somewhere else and, sold their story there and maybe even came back to their hometown. And then it just, it kind of melted in and worked out for them. So, no, I don't necessarily think you need it. Nothing against it, though. I would love you got to love your hometown supporting you, but I don't think you need it.
Oh, that's real. I ain't even ever really think about it like that. You know what I'm saying? Something that there's another just wild story, I guess, about Anderson that I got, bro. Like my brother, he actually lives out of Anderson, and this was gonna be like my first time going out there to like visit. So, I ain't really thinking much of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking like you talking small town. Everybody probably know everybody. You know what I'm saying? Low key. But we go to this little, I guess it was kind of like it was a festival, but it was like people performing. So it was like a lot of the like people from Anderson performing. And at the time, Buddha was still rapping. So I was going to see Buddha. Bro, couldn't even see him, bro, because it got niggas started wilding up in there, bro. Like it got to popping around them up. And I'm like, bro, we at Anderson. I left, you feel me? I left it in the car. I'm feeling like, okay, like we gonna be straight out here. Nah, bro. I said they got that shit out of here, so for real.
Yeah.
Y'all sleep out there.
Yeah, it gets wild. It's been getting wild out here, man.
Yeah, but that's
Definitely getting wild.
But that's anywhere, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's a big misconception too that I even had about Indiana before I moved to Indiana. It was like, okay, it's cornfield, it's white folks, it's basketball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So until you really get to a place and can really, dive into the culture of it, then you can't really have no real say so on how things move or shit. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
Right. I totally get that.
But let me ask you this: when did you realize you had a passion, bro, for like music, just rapping, just music in general?
If we talking music in general, because I honestly started off on the production side of it, like beat making. So if we talking music in general, I come from two families who heavily in gospel music. Like, so I grew up in church, always hearing choirs, quartet, and then as well as them playing instruments. I started off playing drums, like I believe it was my freshman year, because my big cousin, he was playing drums in church and stuff. That was his gig as well. That's how he was getting his bread. So every Sunday I'm with him, and you with him, I'm with him all the time. I just gradually, I'm like, man, let me just start kind of dibbing and dabbing in it. So he ended up teaching me how to play drums. I was still an athlete, so basketball, it was pretty much basketball and music for me, but I wasn't like heavy on the music aspect as far as like, hey, this is what I want to do. I didn't really know. It was like a subconscious thing. So fast forward to my senior year, my other cousin that I was hooping with, he had graduated the year before me. So going into my senior year, it was like I realized I didn't really have a passion for basketball like I thought. I just like to be competitive. And that's what basketball had gave me, the way to be competitive, be a competitor. So I'm like, all right, bet. Dang, what I want to do. And then I just thought about it. I'm like, dang, I've been playing with the beats. Let me see what that's like. Started really playing with it. Had a couple of homies who was already doing music. Shout out, 10 and 1800. Honestly, them was the first two. I was really on some, hey, I make beats. Check these out. Boom. They kind of was like, yeah, it's something there. All right, boom. I stuck with it. I end up making something nice, bro. 10 was like, hey, bro, try to record something, because I was helping him write as well. I helped him write a couple. So he's like, try to record something. Let's see what sound you got. And then the rest is history. 2018 from there, I've been kind of just, not even kind of, I can't even say kind of, man. I've been just chiseling to this sound and this art and my message and, all that. It's been a journey, man, but I love it. And that's how, I discovered my love for it. I'm like, wow, I'm doing everything it takes. I'm anything I got to do, just to see where I can take it, where I know I can take it.
Facts. Oh, that's major, bro. I think just talking about the growth in between, like obviously when you first started and then where you are now, it goes to show, like you was talking about a little bit ago, the consistency, like where that gets you over a period. You know what I'm saying? If you stick at it and you continue trying to, invest everything in your craft and just make it better, then you're gonna begin to see the results. You know what I'm saying? Pay off in just little ways. So that's what's up. So you said you started off making beats. When did and then you kind of talked about like when you was transitioning into rapping, but was it just like when you first started, did you just jump all the way in, or was it just like, I'm gonna go back and forth, see what I rock with?
Honestly, I jumped right in after the first song. It was like I had made a song at the time. I was heavily influenced by like the baby and stuff like that. So I had just made some, some fast stuff, whatever, but I was spitting whatever. And RP Dev, I remember it was a little party and I had showed him. I'm like, hey bro, look, you feel me? I'm trying to start, rapping now. Aside from the producer, whatever, you feel me? Kind of like once again, it's something there. I can hear something there. Woo. So kind of took off with that. I'm like, all right, bet it's something there. Bet. All right, let me see. And like I said, I start chiseling over time, and then I feel like now, for the most part, I got my sound what I wanted it to be. It's just my getting my story together, actually delivering out there to where people can receive it and understand it.
No, that's what's up. That's what's up. Um, Let me ask you this, bro, because you kind of mentioned it right there. I ain't really want to jump into it because everybody has their own just different types of views and relationships. But you mentioned Dev. And obviously I met him on one occasion through Buddha, but just obviously knowing him and then meeting all these people after the fact that I know from Anderson, it just kind of seems like the impact he had just there is like monumental. You see what I'm saying? So did he have like a huge impact on you and just like your
I
process or anything like that? Or is it
I
like how was that
I
relationship?
definitely I feel like he had an impact on really honestly anybody you see making music here, bro. Like it's no secret about it. Everybody could tell you. He definitely has an impact on everybody making music because he was a pioneer as far as showing different, the blueprint. I feel like a blueprint. And that on a little personal tip, that's my brother's right hand man, one of his right hand men. So I saw him on a different aspect other than music. It was like, when he was around, I saw a friend, a brother to my brother. So, it was just like, okay, that's me, like kind of knowing his story, knowing where he comes from, and then hearing it, seeing where he going with it. It was like, oh yeah, it can be done. Like no hating, it can be done. That's somebody from where I'm from showing it could be done. Boom. So you just kind of, pick out of it, see what you can learn from. So yeah, he definitely had a big impact on me personally. I feel like he definitely had a big impact. I was a fan, a big fan.
Nah, bro, me too. And like I said, for me, it was more so after the fact, obviously. But it was just like when you, I guess when you're going through that time when somebody passes and then you like grieving, but you also giving them, you know what I'm saying, just like flowers. I think that time is like it was really vital for me, like coming and becoming a fan of his music because I don't know, like it said a lot, but you when you're alive, like you don't get all the appreciation sometimes that you may deserve. So once you're gone, it just I don't know, it just kind of lights a fire under some people. You know what I'm saying? And just go back and really,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So RP did, man. Obviously, I didn't talk about him on the podcast here before, stuff like that. So it's good to just see that his legacy, you know what I'm saying, continue to be
Oh
furthered through
yeah,
people like you.
forever,
For real,
forever.
for real, for real. But I guess let's just kind of pivoting from that. How, like, when you going into, I guess, about to create a song, a beat, whatever. How do you start your creative process? Like, what's the first thing you got to do? You know what I'm saying? To get that idea that you got, putting it into motion.
Honestly, at this point in my career, the ideas are already just floating constantly, throughout the day. It's just all about how can I find that delivery to get it started, I guess you could say, because there's been times where plug in, I record myself. So I plug in and it's like I'm trying to find that delivery because I don't really write necessarily anymore. I punch in, that way. So I'm like, okay, let me try to find it. If I can find it, let's go. We get the ball rolling. If I can't, I don't necessarily like to force it. I like to, all right, boom. Maybe I just need to go live a little more. Let's just slow it down. Let's slow it down. Boom, it'll come, and then I come back. All right, there we go. So yeah, it's pretty much that. Like, just kind of free, I feel like.
Is it harder? Like you said, you do a lot of your recording now yourself. Like, is it harder for you to like work with different engineers sometimes, or is it just like it's a part of like what comes with it?
In the beginning, back like in the very beginning, yeah, because I didn't understand what was necessarily going on because I was very obviously I couldn't even say beginner stage, like whatever you want to say before beginner stage of engineering. So I ain't know nothing about nothing. So that sound, the process, I'm like, bro, what's going on, bro? Like, whatever, I guess. And then I start studying, and I'm like, oh, I'm learning this, that. Fast forward, I started linking up with Buddha, and then I think I even I recorded with Beam before too. So it was like it was better. The relationship was a lot better. It was a lot more fluent. It went 10 times better. So I do kind of like messing with other engineers, but honestly, I think I only like messing with other engineers around here, just because per se, it's like I have personal relationships with them, but like outside of that, me personally, I'm so sensitive on my vocals, my vocal chain, all that. I really like to work on my own vocals. And I just feel like I'm creating my sound, like just maybe a sound, with how I mix and master. So I love it how I do it, man.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. So I don't really get to ask this question a lot because a lot of the artists that I have on Riley, they kind of just in the beginning stages of it. So they haven't really done nothing live. You know what I'm saying? Especially since the pandemic, we coming out of that era. But talk to me a little bit about just performing live, bro. Like the rush you get from that. Like talk to me a little bit about how that makes you feel. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, listen. Performing live. What can I compare that to? Okay, like I said, I was an athlete in high school. I don't know if you know about the history of Anderson basketball, but Anderson High School specifically. Yeah, look, so you feel me, running out of that, you feel me, that tunnel into the crowd on the season opener. Boy, that's how performing felt, man. I swear it was just like, but it was a good rush. Like I always like to show up. Like that's one thing I've always been. I just like to show up for a crowd. So I saw from the first moment I performed, I saw the crowd. I just I melted with them instantly. Let's get it, let's go. It was showtime. Live show killer. It, man. I swear, like, it's no better feeling. No better feeling, man. No better feeling.
Nah, bro, that's really what's up. Cause I mean, just from the outside looking in, like I do the podcast thing, bro, but it's like I could never, you know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, if you got people out there that's rocking with you to the point that they come out and support you, that's a different feeling, bro. But I just feel like it's like a whole another level of just like courage, bro. Get out there and you know what I'm saying? Turn up to your shit. You feel me?
Also, on like a side note, like I said, my family, both sides of my family, they grew up in church and gospel, so they had church concerts and stuff like that. So I've seen them performing, I've seen them MC, I've seen them, fill the crowd out, talk to them, kind of direct it all. I'm like, all right, yeah. I ran from that for a while, but then it's like I was still watching, I was still there, and still learning. And I just I guess I kind of use that. I really use that and pick up off of that.
Nah, bro. That's just, you keep alluding to it a little bit, like the just coming from like that gospel background, that Christian background. Do you feel like that played like a major role in just how you create music now?
Oh yes. Oh really? Yes. Oh yeah. I feel like that's, as far as my sound go, I honestly feel like that's at least between 40 to 60% of my sound. Just off of certain ways I want to deliver, certain sounds I hear when I'm even just hearing a beat put together. Yeah, that's definitely coming from that because I understand the full spectrum of it, like not just the singing part, not just the what they call it, like I said, MCing, not just the MC and not just the instrument. I understand all of it. So it's like, all right, yeah, I can use all that. It all makes sense.
Nah, bro, I feel you on that. Cause I mean, same thing with me, bro. Grew up in the church. Pops was a pastor. So sometimes I be getting like caught up in like, I don't want to say I be sounding preachy, but it be sound, you know what I'm saying? Just like I obviously got that delivery in me because, you know what I'm saying? I watch Pops.
Right,
But at the same
right.
time, it's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
I don't know, bro. I be trying to stay out of that. But it's funny that you kept mentioning it because it was like, if you come up in something like that and it has like such a big influence on you at that young age, then it's obviously still gonna be reflected in how you move. You know what I'm saying? Later on in your
right.
life. So, nah, that was a real good point right there. I'm glad you kept bringing that up, type shit.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Let me ask you this: as like an artist, like different people I've asked, I get different like answers on this. But do you have songs that are your favorites, and then do you have songs that are like your least favorites, or is it just like it is what it is? I put it out. It is what it is.
I definitely have songs that are my personal least favorites,
Uh-huh.
and I definitely have songs I'd be like, man, what this is one of them. I don't care. So it ain't no secret to that. Like my boys be knowing because that be the ones that be they be pissing me off with that. Like, hey, bro, this hard. I'm like, bro, I only dropped it because y'all kept saying it was hard, bro. So I had to see if the people was gonna mess with it. Which sometimes that's happened, but I'm like, yeah, I got my personal favorites for sure.
Wow, that's funny. I be thinking like with the podcast, bro. At first, like people used to ask me like I got favorite episodes, stuff like that, or favorite guests. I just be like, nah, I kind of like just treat them all as like I just love them all the same type vibe. Because at the end of the day, when I'm looking back at it, it's like for me, these are just like little like moments that I can just piece back together in my life. That's like, oh yeah, I was doing this, or I talked to this person, or I developed a relationship with this person. You know what I'm saying? So
Right,
they all serve
right.
like a bigger purpose to me than just being this one episode. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Let me see. So what takes the longest for you? Is it like the recording process, the editing process? What takes the longest when you like all said and done, like the song done or whatever? What
Mm,
takes the longest?
I say the editing process because I think I'm still a perfectionist.
Mm-hmm.
So if I want a song, like in my head, I have a reference song to like how I'm trying to mix wise, engineering wise. But as far as my delivery go, I'm still trying to be me, stay unique. And it's like, I'll be mixing. This ain't right. This still ain't sounding right. I gotta start over. Let me start over. Let me try to add this in. So I think the editing process takes longer. But the
Yeah.
recording process can take a minute too sometimes. Though, so it
That's
can
what I
it
was
can
saying. Cause you were saying like you
it can
punch in. So it was like
yeah.
you'll probably, you know what I'm saying, record a bar and then think be like, okay, maybe I want to go back and you know what I'm saying? So I
Hey,
was like, yeah, that part would be the
but
part that get me.
that's the perks of investing in your own studio. I tell everybody if you take music serious, it is no shame in investing in your own studio and still go to the actual studios until you really get that sound. But work on your sound it's yourself, really figure it out, because that's gonna save you a lots of money.
Mhm.
A lot of money. And that's all I was about. I was just trying to save a lot of money. And I eventually started figuring it out piece by piece by piece by asking questions. Like everybody will tell you, anybody who recorded me, I guarantee they'll tell you, yeah, he's asking me questions. Buddha will tell you, he's asking me questions. He's definitely asking me questions. Yes, I'm asking. Hey, bro, how you do this? How you feel me? I gotta
Mhm.
know.
Nah, that's what's up, bro. I think even with what you just said, just investing, if you passionate about it to the point where you feel like it can, you know what I'm saying, not only bring in income for you, but it's just something that you really really like even with this podcast stuff, bro. Like when I first started doing it, I was recording on my phone. You know what I'm saying? In my voice notes, pasting it up into the system to edit it and stuff like that. But it's like when you really like something, you got to take that next step. You know what I'm saying? Not only show yourself you serious, but to show other people that like, yo, this is something I take seriously. So strap up if you really, you know what I'm saying? So that's major. That's major. So talk to me about how you chose your name, how the name came about.
Okay, so not to get too personal, but I was going through a little situation with a group of my homeboys, and then it was towards the end of the year. I'm like, you know what, I ain't taking this energy into the next year. You know, I'm trying to really come right. I ended up having to sit down with him. Everything was cool after that, you know. Grown men talk. It was cool after that. After that, I just felt more pure. Then I didn't have no more hate on my heart or on my weight, that weight on my shoulders. So I'm like, you feel me? I felt like a whole new person, a whole new artist, and I felt like I truly knew what I wanted to tell people or knew my story. So I started thinking of what do I want to tell people? What do I want to bring to people? And the first thing that came up was peace. I'm like, all right, peace. All right, I want to name that resembles peace, not necessarily just go with peace, you know. So I got to researching, and then Casamir popped up. It was I'm not too knowledgeable on who exactly he was, but I do know the name itself meant proclaimer of peace, which means bringer of peace. So I'm like, okay, I definitely feel like when I'm around, my presence is felt. People definitely feel at peace. They definitely feel that genuine energy from me, you know, like, and I wanted to let that be known. So I came up with that. And then the numbers 1155, that's just angelic numbers that mean peace. So I, you know, just threw them together. I feel like it kind of stands out, you know, like people see that in the lineup. It's like, hey, who's that? You know, like that's a little different. It ain't too crazy, but who is that? Like, you know?
It's different, bro. It's different. I think the more you know what I'm saying, the more you put yourself in a position to stand out, the more people are going, you know what I'm saying, be curious. That's why because I was curious. I was like, yeah, bro, it got to be something behind it. So I'm definitely glad that you shared that little bit of insight. This my last question for you, bro. Unless you got anything you want to ask me, but so this podcast is really revolved around like mental health more than like highlighting talent and stuff like that. So obviously when we first started, you know what I'm saying, I see what you was doing. I'm about to go do it too. I just didn't want to, you know what I'm saying? I want to
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You feel me? But how do you take care of your mental, just resetting, making sure that you're good?
Honestly, like you said, aside from that, I've dove back into weightlifting. Like I come from that, you know, was an athlete in high school. Like I said, you know, that's required. So I figured like now being an adult, seeing the effects of going to that gym when you're going through something rather than going to do something destructive to yourself or to others. You can't beat it, man. So I definitely big up on the gym. My cousin getting me onto reading. I'm still trying to like at least remember to read a page a day. Like even how no matter how busy I am, just get that page in there. But so I'm trying to read, and then like I said, you seen what I was doing. I definitely got to do that. That's also to help my process too. So you know, definitely be on that. But I just feel like when it's all said and done, nothing too destructive. Like I leaned away from liquor. So when I drink, I'm 2 shots, 3 shots, and I'm cool, bro. Like I don't need to overdo it no more. Like I'm trying to make sure I kind of at least take care of the tempo. I'm already, you know, smoking, so I gotta kind of balance out with the tempo.
Nah, that's facts, bro. That's facts. So you can go ahead and plug your socials right now, bro. Just let everybody know where they can find you, find your music, just find you in general.
Yes, sir. On all socials, it is at 1155Casamir, 1155 Casimir. And that is also my name on all music platforms. That's how you find me. Also
Right.
got hold on, I got some shows coming up,
Oh, go ahead and plug the
Um
show.
I got the Hoosier Dome coming up on Saturday, August 12th, I want to say. Yeah, I don't want to lie on that. I got a flyer on my Instagram though, so follow me on Instagram, and I'll keep you updated on all shows coming up. I got about 3 of them coming up, all in August.
Hey, talk to him nice,
And
oh
and
God.
and we just dropped the first official music video for your boy 1155Casamir on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure y'all go check that out. Like and
Mm-hmm.
subscribe. We got
Mm-hmm.
more coming for you.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out the movie man, Craig Gowan himself, man.
Hey,
Let's
shout
get it,
out.
man.
Shout out. Anybody else you want to shout out, bro?
Shoot, like I said, shout in the beginning, shout out 1010, shout out 1800, Buddha, Beam, FTB Boston. You feel me? I can go all day, bro. But my Jalen, you already know that's bro. Like, come on, man. Like, I can go all day, man. I got some people who believe in me, bro. That can really, they believe I can get it going, and I will.
Hey, that's all. Hey. Shout out to the team, man. Shout out to the support system. Shout out to everybody rocking with the movement. And shout out to you, bro, for coming on here. You know what I'm saying? Taking some time out with me. Just chopping it up. I definitely appreciate it.
So shout out to you, my boy.
Like
Love
everybody,
what you're doing.
Hey, I appreciate you, family. That mean a lot to me, honestly. But with everybody I have on, bro, I just like to reassure them, let them know that, with anything that y'all got going on moving forward, this is always going to be a place where you can pub it. There's always going to be a place where you welcome, you know what I'm saying, to get off whatever you feel like you need to get off. So, again, bro, appreciate you.
Yes, I appreciate you, my man.
All right, bro, I'm going to hit you right after we get out this meeting, all right?
All right, bet. Love, man.
Love, bro.